Hello Chipsters, it's Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. I do apologise for the angle of the camera yet again. I apologise for the state of the workbench. Everything is getting cleared. I was watching one of Phil Flory's videos. If you're getting bored and you're into your model kits, Phil Flory and his team have, rather than their normal pay-per-view type videos they're doing, they're loading up through the weekday anyway, as if anybody's at work, but through, you know, from Monday to Friday, Flory Models is putting up its chats between him and his friends that you can ask questions if you want to, but I just put it on, you know, the next day, and it's on for a couple of hours, and it's good accompaniment, it's quite funny, and talking about model kits and that. But anyway, I digress yet again. They were saying how isn't it amazing how you clean your bench off and within a short time you're literally working in a, you know, I don't know, a matchbox size space. You know, it's amazing how quick everything encroaches. I've got on my bench at the moment, I was painting Paul Beckers's commands again last night, so I've still got a load of greens on my table. I put all these up last night. I was going to do a video last night when it was quieter, and it just never happened for different reasons, and these need to be packed up, bubble wrapped and packed away, ready to send off to the client at some distant day. So I've got these on. I've got some little 10mm American Civil War, which will be getting done sometime in the following week or this weekend as a video, or you name it. It's on the bench at the moment. I've got under some dust covers, I've got my aircraft 1 in 48 scale Sea Fury, my 1 in 35 scale Lav 2. Yeah, it's just a wash with boxes of paints, mugs of tea, you name it. Anyway, this was supposed to be titled, and is titled, a look at my 18mm AB naps. Now these guys you have seen before, so we're looking at the infantry. I'll give a quick flash to camera to them again. It's only actually this line here that I've actually done. These are all Italian. These are Velites. I have shown these before. It's just a case that they're here, so I'll just flash a couple up. Officers at a certain point was wearing the dark green in comparison to their men, who obviously are in white. They've got the winter stroke campaign gaiters on. I've given these guys all the same greatcoats. I've given these like a more of a pewter grey. They could have probably also been done more in a pepper grey, which is like a browny grey. But yeah, those are those guys. These are he's a nice colour. I'm going to try him first. So we've got these guys. I'm really sorry for the camera angle again, guys. It's I've only got this bench to film on. My other bench at the side of me is filled with a spray booth, and my extra boxes I've got like those really useful plastic boxes, and they're rammed full of paints, and between figure painting and model making equipment in those. So it's an attractive uniform. I've gone for a very slightly darker green than the other chasseurs. These are elites, obviously. Again, a mix of horses. As we all know, usually they'd be colour coded to different troops, companies or whatever, but when needs must, they literally put anything into, you know, anything that could be ridden. Orange trumpeter there. Well, you've seen these guys before, but we'll have a quick squiz again. Now, actually, it's not going to help any of the guys that haven't got an airbrush, but I had the first time I've had a varnish malfunction in probably a good couple of years. I normally, because I use, let me just reach over, this is my varnish of choice. that's the matte one. Obviously I've got the gloss and the satin as well. I only matte coat, usually a couple of coats of matte. I don't brush it on too heavy, but if you really load your figure up with, whether it's a brush or whether it's a spray can, yes, the ambience and the moisture levels can play a part, but also if you overload your figure with varnish, it can obviously go the nice white colour that with a frosting, as people say. But I haven't had that for years and years. But what I have had on the odd occasion, this time it blew up on these guys. Well, not these guys. That the commission before they went shiny. Not a gloss shine, but enough to make them, you know, not what you want. And after you've just spent probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks painting the figures, and they go shiny, it's not a great motivator. So I reapplied more varnish from a new bottle, in fact the one I've just shown you, and although it did work in places, a couple of them, like the field guns, you could tell they'd been heavily varnished up, and it would start. Problem is, if you over varnish, if you do a lot of subtle highlights, you start losing those highlights in the varnish. Well, I was listening to one of the Phil Flory's videos on the model making side of it, and as you guys know, I've gone back into doing that as well. Although that's not commission, definitely not for a commission. It's just a hobby. But anyway, people were saying that, different troubles spraying varnish and things. Now I haven't got, at the moment, I've only got the acrylic varnish. I literally put the acrylic varnish over my models because I don't have any of the lacquer varnishes. But he was saying, just as you spray your paint, going way farther and that. And that's exactly what I did with my airbrush. I put it in the airbrush, a few drops of water first, mixed it up just to make it flow a bit better. Put it through the airbrush. I brushed it fairly well back, so it was misting it rather than making it wet. And then I just built a couple of coats up at the same session, not drying it out, but just putting misted coats over until I could see that there was varnish on the figure, and they've come up great. I'm quite happy with that, and I did that a couple of times. Once the one dried off, I gave him another mist over with the airbrush, and because I was doing other things spraying wise, with my models, it all came good because I wasn't having to strip everything down and restart. Everything was all ready to go. So I've been really pleased with that. Now that's not saying you might not get a frosting effect. I don't think you will, in the sense of, I think with the air can, with the sprays, the rattle cans, obviously they're quite cold even when you've got them at room temperature. I think you can sometimes have problems. Some people never have any problems at all. As I say, I hadn't brushing on the varnish. I hadn't had a problem for a couple of years, and these were the first time it's gone shiny in a while. But as I say, these guys, I'm dead chuffed with. They've come out really nice and flat, and that's how I like them. The client's happy with that. I've also got in the background at the moment, just working on these guys still. Obviously, these are Milan City Guard. The white trousers still need another highlight on them yet. That's a difference. I haven't painted that light blue on my Italians ever, so that is a bit of a difference. And normally in whites and greens and the odd red. So guys, thanks for stopping by and taking a look. As usual, it's been mainly nap based, but as usual I go off on tangents. I hope everything's going well with you. I hope you're digging into the lead pile when it comes to your figures, or the kit stash if you're coming in with your modelling. Just keep at your desk, get involved, and the bad days will hopefully pass us at some stage. So you take care of yourselves, and we will speak very soon on another video. Cheers.